but let me think for 1 second. Wait, takes. Yeah, I think this just wins.
In this video, a simple guide to improve your attacking game. So there are 3 levels. Number 1 is finding simple tactics and checkmates. Number 2 is working out a combination, several variations, in order to really bring a near final advantage. And number 3, you could have a case where you're trying to build an attack, it's very important, but you don't have any force variation. You just need to find the right attacking moves. Now, in a real life game, no one is telling you whether you're looking for 1, for 2, or for 3. But if you have the 3 skills, then you're gonna be in better shape to gain rating points and really be strong in complex middle games. So let's see an example of number 1, what I call simple tactics. See the position, and in all the examples, we will play with the white pieces, white to move. So here I'll play a little music, feel free to pause the video, and I'll reveal the solution, why to play. Okay, so this is the solution and also how I go about it. Clearly the king here is in danger. We have attacking pieces, and we can see that if that bishop somehow would come here, that would be really a decisive check and checkmate. So how do we go about that? First move, check. Only move is taking, and now we have checkmate. So that's what I call a simple tactics in a real game here. Grandmaster with white won this game. Now, these tactics, there's a lot of way to practice, but that's something you need to know your patterns, like forks, skewers, all kind of checkmates. And now I'm gonna play an example of Puzzle Rush, how I train this level 1. So you have an example of how I practice and learn all these patterns and keep practicing that. But now we're gonna go to the next level. This is a level 2 type of position, why to play. Once again, feel free to pause the video, take time, and I'll reveal the complete solution next. So here the winning move is Rook H1, threatening checkmate. Now, of course, because the bishop is hanging, it would be normal to consider capturing the bishop. But here, Queen E6 would be a move, and on Rook H1, King F8, and the king is trying an escape. So that is not as decisive as Rook H1. So here, G6 is the defense. Now you simply capture here the bishop, and now you have a decisive threat. So can you see what the threat is for white? So let me demonstrate. Let's say black does a rook move. You simply do check. And here we have this very nice check. The rook goes, double check. And here, if you take with the king, you have a checkmate. And if you try to sidestep, you have another checkmate over here. So now we're here and we know what the threat is. We're trying to finish off the game. So in the actual game here, black tried Queen E6. And here, white gave a check. And here, how do you finish? Well, that's a little trick. Yes, you can play bishop h6 and win like I demonstrated. But in the game, bishop f6 was played, and black resigned. Why is that? If you take with the queen, it's a simple checkmate in one. If you take with the king, it doesn't take that long. Check. And here, checkmate. Now, as we can see, this was not so easy because here you would naturally want to capture, but you have to leave that bishop, first double the rooks, and then after g6, simply takes on b3, and you have a winning threat. That is the right move order, and you need to calculate precisely to the end. And now it's time to reveal the third type, the kind of attacking game without force variations. At this stage, I like to remind the three steps. Number one, easier tactics. Number two, more complex ones. And number three, an attack without a forced way to win the game. Now, the level 3 is the hardest, but that's super important if you're trying to win game against stronger opponents. And here, I have a real-life example with Grandmaster playing white Minh from Vietnam and Grandmaster from Peru, I believe, Jospen with black. See the Speed Chess Championship on chess.com qualifier, super important online event. This is why to play. Feel free to take a few seconds or minutes to analyze, and I'll go through this entire game. White to play. So here we can see that white is trying to really attack. All the pieces are looking to the king side. Now, the first thing we may consider is what about taking here? Now, of course, black recapture. I do not see a follow-up for white. Going back in this position, the second move you should consider is f5 and trying to attack. Unfortunately, a5 is not the move, even though it's tempting. Black would take here, and now it's very deceiving because I have my pieces and I'm threatening checkmate on h7. But black would play g6, the queen move, attacking, king g7. You can put this position in a chess engine. This position is about equal. Black has enough to defend. There is no breakthrough right here. So that's very hard because, of course, when I am in this position, I may think that f5 is a way to open up the position. However, here, Minh with white played the best move, confirmed by Chess Engine and Stockfish. The best move is rook f3, the rook lift, and the rook's gonna add pressure on the king side. So black play a move. We bring the second rook to the action. And now black move back the bishop over here. We can see here we have 5 pieces ready to come to the king side. So we're getting closer to our combinations, but not quite yet. What is the next move? Feel free to pause once again. Over here, white found a way to increase the pressure. And the idea is rook g3. Now, in the game, looking at the pressure over here, black did g6. But that's a weakening move. You can see all these squares are weak. Now, I was wondering, what if in this position after rook g3, all right, in this position, black just waits. Let's say play c5 takes d4. You have a crushing win here. Can you guess what is the move? And the move is check. And this is checkmate. Beautiful stuff. So we know over here, we are threatening the queen sack. Queen take g7. Beautiful. Let me show it one more time. That's a beautiful checkmate. All right. So now that we know the idea for white, what if black had tried rook g8? Is it a better defense? Not really. Queen h5, That's a move to add pressure. So now Queen f8 to defend, and here Rook g6. Beautiful stuff. Obviously, you cannot take the rook because you would have checkmate. You could take on e5, and I take here. And next coming is rook f6 to win. Let me demonstrate. If you do a random move, rook f6, and I'm going to take twice on h6 and win the game. All right, so that's not possible. And over here, if you take the rook, simply queen g6, you have a double threat, winning the queen and also threatening checkmate on h7. So we know that on rook g3, rook g8 loses to this beautiful stuff, rook g6, and you have a complete winning position. Of course, you're threatening also to take here, take there. This is game over. So in the game, g6 played. That's another defense. And what is the right move here? Queen h4. Of course, the queen cannot be taken. There's a nice spin over here. But we're putting pressure on h6. So black does king g7. And you may think that black is holding the key squares. So how do you continue from there? And now, brilliant attacking game by Minh, queen h5. And that tells me that that pawn is under intense pressure. White took on d4. And now, feel free to pause the video one last time. What is the winning move for white? And the answer is bishop take g6. Now, if black has taken here, that didn't happen in the game, do you take with the queen or do you take with the rook? So hopefully you work through the combination. The answer you take, either way, you're gonna win. So if you take with the rook, and here you're winning with a nice checkmate, right? So now if the king were to be here, you also give a nice checkmate over there. But now you could also take with the queen. And what is the finishing blow here? Simply bishop f6, queen f6, and you're gonna finish with a nice checkmate on g7. So we know now that on bishop g6, black cannot take back. So the final thing which was trying the game is taking on e5. Now you do a discovery check, and obviously the king were to move, you simply give a checkmate. So black have to give up the queen. And here, what was the final move of the game? Pretty easy at this stage. Queen h6, and black resign because you finish with a classic checkmate on h7. So that's a fairly long example. I want to show here, it all started with rook f3, the rook lift. There was no forced variation. But after rook g3, we got closer, moving again, getting closer. And over here, it was time to strike the winning combination. Bishop g6, winning no matter what black tried. So it's a fairly long example, but grandmaster level, showing you how in a position which looks like promising, you can really execute an attacking game. And that's what I call level 3. And I think now I have demonstrated how you have these 3 layers of tactics and combination and middle game, and that's very essential to really improve in chess. And if you want to beat stronger opponents and get titles or play for higher ratings in a significant manner, that's the step you have to go to the middle game. So I have other examples of combination and tactics on my channel. Feel free to subscribe if you like the content. and I can post more of these if you like me to. Thanks so much for your time.